All right. Everything is set up, ready to go. Let's see. Just a very casual tape reading and chill session. Let's see, maybe we get a few people joining in here. Be aware that none of this is financial advice. So if you're watching this, yeah, it's not financial advice. It's just me executing my personal trades. Doing tape reading. All right, guys. So if you have any questions here on Discord, let me quickly grab that Discord link. There we go. Now we're ready to go. So really what I'm looking at, I know we do not have anyone watching just yet, but really I'm looking at this inversion fair value gap, which is now beautifully paired with this bullish fair value gap right here. So I would really like to see this to hold support. I'm going to enter right here off the high of that bullish fair value gap, getting it tapped in. We could also go a few ticks below that, but we already filled, so let's see, let's get rid of this position tool. I just want to track price. If I see a candle close below this, I will cancel this entry. My take profit target is going to be this buy side. Let's check out YM. YM, still no trade. All right, there we go. Hey Paul, how's it going? Right now I really want to see if this inversion fair value gap here on the 5-minute time frame paired with this newly formed bullish 5-minute fair value gap can support price without retracing any lower into this buy side, if we can continue with this bullish momentum, or if we're going to consolidate now prior to the London Open. That's really all I'm testing here, so I'm actually going to get rid of the SPY limit, modify my stop loss. Pretty much if I would see a candle closing below this bullish fair value gap, I would already cancel the position. Place my stop loss here. That would be a free handle stop out. Just a safety measure in case we get a big wick to the downside. 2 minutes to go. Really, this area, bullish fair value gap paired with the inversion, should hold support. Let me quickly check NQ. NQ on the 5-minute time frame. What is NQ doing? Also just pretty much pushing since the London Open. Earlier this morning, now with hindsight, I missed this high probability order block. We cleared a short-term low. Had a candle with no wick to the upside. We got above it. 2 a.m. open. We retrace into that order block. I wanted to see it hit this inversion fair value gap paired with the bullish fair value gap right here. Didn't get that. And from this order block, all we did was continue pretty aggressively into this first buy side target. So actually let me modify that because we cleared buy side right here. Left behind this bullish fair value gap. Even managed to close above this old bearish fair value gap from yesterday's PM session. So we closed above it, leaving behind a new discount, which leads me to believe that we use this higher confluence area, so this inversion fair value gap paired with the bullish fair value gap right here to deliver higher. So 1 more minute on this 5-minute candle, usually the telling minute. Just looking for 4 handles here. Into this rejection block, this wick. That's what I would treat as the rejection block. Alright, I like this push up during those last 30 seconds, but we still have some time left. And of course, I see we've got a question, or at least a message in the chat. Good morning in the morning. Let me quickly check YouTube. Nope. Perfect. Alright. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Closed above it. So let's see if we can continue to the upside now. So that first little target would be this high. In order to deliver bullish. That's the bullish fair value gap right here. That's the inversion fair value gap. If we manage to close above this candle, I'm going to move my stop loss just below this low, really. Because we could really just continue to consolidate and then eventually even bounce off this fair value gap. I'm going to leave my stop loss as it is because I think we might be going for the SPY side, especially since we closed above this discount. So yeah, I don't know. Let's say we close below this bullish fair value gap, then I would simply take a small cut right here, a few ticks of drawdown likely. Let's say we close somewhere inside here, that would be 1 hand or 1.25. That's not too bad. We can easily make that back, and then I would start to look for a better entry with a deeper retracement. So looking at this entire range, where do we have our equilibrium? Right here, pretty much where we have that midnight open. That would be my prime entry. But that's, first of all, we have to see if we even retrace or if we just use this highest premium discount that we have left behind to maybe deliver into that next target. Check on NASDAQ. Also close above that highest premium prices left behind. On its way to clear this daily buy side. The one that ICT mentioned in his video, in his review for the day. One and a half minutes left. Let's see. YM also starting to pull back, but no potential entry. Next minute or last minute of this 5-minute candle. Let's check the 15. On the 15, we have a pretty big bullish fair value gap right here. We might fill that. That's why I'm more careful. I do not feel need to hold this trade into like, yeah, potential more than 5-handle drawdown just to fill this fair value gap, I already get my confirmation if I see a close below this candle. That we're not going to bounce below this bullish fair value gap, that we're not going to use this area to bounce off into more buy side. "20 seconds to go." So now we filled in this entire inefficiency. So really, if we're going to use that, we should hold here. And we also didn't see a bearish volume imbalance. This is also a good sign. If we would have opened up with a bearish volume imbalance here, that'd be another little hint that that would lead me to essentially close out my position. Not going to enter with more than contract either, because it's pre-London Open, and I'm not the biggest fan of entering with too much risk prior to the London Open. That's London Open right here, so we still have some time. So if we continue to pretty much do nothing until then I could see us doing a very similar thing that we did yesterday during London. Let me pull that up quickly, because yesterday during the London session we made... Also, we retraced, or we had a pump starting at 2 AM. Very similar, market structure shift, blah, blah, blah. Left behind a discount, retested it at 255, and immediately reversed at 3 AM. I could see that same thing happening today. We have that pump at 2 AM, make a new market structure shift, since we had a bearish one theoretically here. So this would also be our breaker block. I'm going to use this up close candle as our breaker block. We actually could use the consecutive up closing candles, but I'm simply going to... we could use the highest one. Would be this one right here, in my opinion. Could check the 15. Yep, that's perfectly matching up with the 15, so that's our 15-minute breaker block. High, lower low, higher high, so that's our breaker block. Breaker block, fair value gap. Another bullish fair value gap, yeah. So that's really the setup I'm looking for. YM starting to pull back as well, but I like how ES is holding right here. Breaker block. Bullish fair value gap paired with the midnight, so that's a very high confluence area. And also if we check the 15, this breaker block is inside of this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. What else do we have around this area? Another inversion right here, but yeah, not the best one. So let's see. Still holding. I would actually prefer this candle to close below now, to be honest, because then I could simply exit the position with very minimal drawdown. Filled in the entire inefficiency, 3 down closing candles, doji at the top. Continuation, depending on how much of a retracement we could be getting. So if we measure from our low to high once more, and we use the fib ICT retracement, we have our optimum trade entry 61.8 right here at the slow of the fair value gap. Optimum trade entry down here right off that order block. I don't think it's gonna get down till there, so I'm simply going to use the percentage of ranges. I'm going to only leave on that equilibrium 50% right here inside of that breaker block. Alright, 20 seconds to go. Come on, do we get the close below? We're still holding that 50% of that inversion fair value gap from the left. If we get a up close candle, that would be nice. Maybe back above it even, or a volume imbalance. No volume imbalance, but at least an up close candle after filling in this inefficiency completely. So really we do not have much reason to go below this level if we, for example, now prior to the London Open continue into the buy side. We will see about that. Alright. Breaker block, 50%. I'm actually going to just mark this up. That's our equilibrium. Looks like the market is slowing down a bit prior to the London Open. Let's see, YM is pulling back for a potential long entry soon. Let me check that YouTube live stream. No more messages. So yeah, really the highest confluence area for me personally would be an entry somewhere off here maybe even, because right here we have that 50% of this entire move. We have a bullish 5-minute fair value gap, a 15-minute breaker block, and just into this buy side would already be 4.75 handles. My stop loss would go below the slow, 3.75 handles for a simple London session trade. We could even use the 15-minute breaker block, but we will see if we even get down there prior to the London Open. It's 2:40 now, so yeah, we'll see about that. We filled in this entire inefficiency. If we close just above this high, I'm going to move my stop loss 1 tick below this low, because really after filling this inefficiency and closing back above it, there's not much reason, in my opinion, that we are going to go lower than that. There's no need. Price already delivered efficiently in that sense. I know we still left inefficiencies behind, but this could be something for the London Open. We will see. I like this candle so far. I'm doing it already. 1 tick below here. So if we go below it again, I'm going to be stopped out with a drawdown of 1 handle, which would exactly be 50 bucks. Let me check on NQ. NQ is also holding support in that most recent bullish fair value gap right here. Let's see if we can't continue. I'm going to set an alert right here on NQ, just to be aware of when we're going to break this high on NQ. 1.5 minutes left. I want to see this candle to close above the inversion. If we get a rejection and we close back at the high of it, I'm going to close at break even. Hey Ryan, what's happening? All right. 40 seconds to go on this candle. Like I said, in a macro sense, this is also a sort of rejection block. I'd like to see a close on the side of it. 240, so we get a new 15-minute candle on this close. Let's check out the hourly chart. Also already inside this big hourly wick. Could be looking at a potential 50% of this wick, which would be sitting just here. So if we drop down on the 5, that could be a potential target. Alright, so we closed right at the high, but we open with a bearish volume imbalance. Sort of okay. Let's see. Not going to trying to catch the word prior to the London Open. Because I think essentially during that London Open we're going to retrace in either that breaker block from the 15 paired with these bullish fair value gaps. Like I said, I'm going to be stopped out if we go back below this inversion. That's really all I'm looking for. If I do not get that, so if I do get stepped out, I'm stopped out with one handle and lost. That's not too bad. I do not want to hold this trade all the way from up here through potential drawdown. I'd much rather prefer to get an entry here, and then I don't really care about that drawdown anymore at all. So buy side right here, it is 2:45, so 15 minutes until that London Open. We hit the low one more time. Note that we also have equal lows right here. Alright, I closed the position. Would have been stopped out now anyway. Let's quickly check trader weight. Should be $50 of drawdown. Perfect. Not worth the risk, especially prior to the London Open right now. It's really about getting a good entry. If we get this Tudor swing to the downside to deliver up higher during London. We could still also just hold this, and yeah, I made a little mistake, but it's not worth the risk for me with this high up entry. I'd expect London to at least retrace into this 15-minute breaker block, and from here I'd be fine because a 5-handle stop loss would pretty much protect me, and that's all I'm going to risk. Even a 4-handle stop loss should be fine for that London Open. And we see we're starting to push down. Essentially what we want to see. So really a entry of this lowest discount would be ideal. That's where I would like to get in. I would add one more contract if we get down to that New York midnight level. One tick above it just to make sure we get filled as well. Good call on closing that position. Let's see. Next step would be a retracement into this bullish fair value gap. Entry of the lowest bullish fair value gap. Adding to the contract, or adding to the position if we hit that midnight level inside this lowest bullish fair value gap. Yeah, this is currently the plan of the day. 15-minute breaker block. 15-minute bullish fair value gap right inside of here. So let's check where that 15-minute equilibrium is. Going back to the 5 now. Yeah, pretty much where our entry lies, so that's fine. This bearish volume imbalance right here said it all. And Q doing that same thing. Yeah, I think that's going to be my trade going into that London Open. My London Open long. So first entry off here. 50% would be right here. So if both get filled, stop loss goes below the slow right here. Up till here, we almost have 5 handles. Yep. So as of right now, this candle right here is still holding that bullish fair value gap. Let's see if we get to close below or maybe a bearish volume imbalance. All right, trading a bullish volume imbalance. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Still pretty certain that we're at least going to retest that breaker block in my opinion. On the 15, this breaker block, highest up close candle. We formed a low, had a market structure shift, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high. So right here, this little structure in itself, swept liquidity right here, went back up, breaker block right here. That's going to be my first entry. Then I'm going to enter a little bit further down for the possible continuation into more buy side. Right here we have another breaker block. That's a 5-minute breaker block. We closed above it after sweeping sell side right here. Highest up closing candle would be this one, breaker block. Keep holding support during Asia, bounce into it one more time with this little order block to clear sell side. Use that to deliver up higher. So yeah, really that's what I'm looking forward to see to play out. It is 2:50 a.m. so we still have some time left. I've got my buy limits ready. Going to place my sell stop just below the slow. In case the market comes in and says, fuck you. That's a 3.75 handle stop loss with 2 contracts. Yeah, that's fine. For a nice potential upside. But since we're still holding this bullish fair value gap right here, yeah, it's... Let's say we do not have to retrace here. Maybe we get a wick with that London Open, same way as we did yesterday. I mean, here's the example from yesterday. Left behind a bullish fair value gap after 2 a.m. Delivered higher, shifted market structure, pulled back inside of that fair value gap, and continued higher. Now the only difference compared to today is that we have, yeah, a bunch of fair value gaps, a breaker block, everything, yeah, nicely looking. An order block down here. Get rid of this. And I hope everyone understands why I closed the position prior to the London Open. I mean, yes, we're still respecting the discount. So I would theoretically still be in that trade, but that's personally not worth that potential drawdown that we're likely going to get. I much rather prefer to enter in lower. If I'm missing out on the opportunity, it is what it is, but lower low. Cleared equal lows right here. Let's see. All right, let me quickly fill out my journal here. Unless there are any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. All right, so If I look at next buy side. At 215. Close above that highest discount premium. Close above highest premium before buy side. Another bearish opening. At 220, we left behind that bullish fair value gap. Which is overlapping with the inversion. Based on that, at 225. We had the first long entry on the number one account. Entry long of bullish discount. Right at 230. We filled in that entire discount. Followed by a continuation higher. Then we went back to the lows. At 245. With a manual exit. Minus one handle. Minus 50 bucks right here. Done. All right, let's see. Just filled out the journal. Do we already get an entry? We could get a possible entry on YM. I do not really like it. I would prefer this entry to happen right at 3 AM. Not sure if this stock is going to cross immediately on this candle. I think therefore we would have to close somewhere up here. So I still have 5 minutes before I have to hop onto a trade on YM. So pretty much after this pump, all we did was consolidate, very similar to yesterday. Now what I would like to see is a 30 seconds to go. Retracement into the breaker block, fair value gap, equilibrium, New York midnight, deliver into buy side. That's really what I'm looking for. Let me quickly check on NQ. NQ is also forming sort of a bull flag. We have that daily buy side above us. Yeah, really, that's all I'm looking for. Let's see if we get it. 10 seconds to go. 2, 1. Okay, no entry on this candle. Let's see if we get that retracement, another bearish volume imbalance. So if we're just going to use this discount, I mean, we had the entry on here, really. If you also took that entry, there's no reason that you should be, no reason to be worried, really. Because we kept holding it. We have overlapping confluence of this inversion paired with this bullish fair value gap, unless we close below it. For me personally, I do not like to stay in consolidation, especially if I have a awesome setup in my opinion with a breaker block, fair value gaps, New York midnight open. This is really what I'm looking for, not just trying to trade off the highest discount that we have available. But yeah, I might miss out on some potential gains, which is fine really with me. All right, let's see. Let's open NASDAQ. Slow London open so far, so we might just be holding this actually. I'm gonna be back in a sec. Alright, so we cleared that buy side, but we've immediately been rejected. So let's see how this candle is going to close really. It's just that anticipatory fear, because I have seen London open to do this pullback so often. I don't know. It's just a thing, but it's not too bad because we still have 2 hours for another potential trade, really. So we would be getting an entry on YM, a one that I'm going to certainly take. Might miss out on this breaker block opportunity, just using this inversion fair value gap paired with the bullish fair value gap of our initial entry. Let me turn on the executions here. Trading executions. One minute to go. I'm quickly going to log out of that trade away to switch over to the next one. There we go. Likely on ES as well. Damn. 5 handles. Yeah, all the way above right here. We'll see if we get there. 40 seconds to go before I'm going to enter on YM. I'm simply going to use a 1 bar stop if I can, because we had the pullback. Now we get our next impulse up. That's really all I'm looking for, and I do not want too big of a stop loss, so I think 15 ticks is all I'm gonna give it today for a quick and simple 2-to-1 risk to reward into some buy side above here. Yeah, should be fine. Create limit order. 1 unit, 2 units. Ah, come on. Too slow on that one. I really want to use that 1 bar stop. That's 75. That's 2. Hang on. Might still have some time. Not in a rush. We usually pull back most of the times. So 2 contracts, 1 contract. Gonna do 1 right here. Quite the
Order
move.
filled.
There we got filled already. That 2-to-1 seems a little bit too big for my liking. 18 tick stop loss. Where's our 1.5? Right here. Going to set an alert. There we go. So we closed above buy side here on ES. This would have been a trade. We've been in it, but we did not, pursue it or continue sticking to it. That's all right. I really expected London to retrace further. Didn't do it. Now we potentially leave a fair value gap after we cleared that buy side. I would add 1 more contract because I should have been in with 2. If we retrace to 50%, let's add it right here. Buy 1 more limit in case we get back down to it. That's going to be my stop loss then. If not, we're gonna take profit at a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So, and that's pretty much it. We do not have to do anything more on this account. The indicator-based strategy, it's gonna do its job. Once I get the alert, now we're inside this rejection block. That sucks. That's the most annoying thing, knowing you've been in the trade and it's playing out. You just, you were a little bit, or I was a little bit afraid of that potential London open. Right here, where I really expected a retracement into that beautiful breaker block, New York midnight, blah blah blah. But we simply just used that highest inversion plus discount right here to deliver higher. We entered right here at the high of it, but I closed below it because I expected this retracement. But in the end of the day, we kept holding the low of it. Candle bodies kept beautifully respecting it, so really no reason to exit the trade. Open with a bullish volume imbalance and essentially delivered higher. So 2 minutes to go. Let's check on YM. We add our contract right here. Check out NQ. Did NQ clear this daily buy side? No, not yet. I'm going to add an alert right here as well, just to know when that's happening. That's the rejection block with this wick. Could we... How many handles is that? 4.5. 3 handle stop. Theoretically, that would be a continuation entry. And into this trend. We had our pullback, even though it was just a super small one. So yeah, I think I might take the opportunity, but of that 50%. I mean, I'm not really afraid of taking it because once I see the close below this bullish fair value gap, I simply exit. It's very unlikely that my stop loss below this low right here, or at this low right here, is going to be hit unless we get a huge rejection. But yeah, really, my target would be that previous day's high buy side. I mean, we're running to it. I did not expect this fair value gap here to hold as it did. I really wanted to see that retracement. Then I would have had more confidence in a continuation right here. You could have added to the position. So yeah, we will see. Just one more thing, that 2 to 1 is going to take us. Yep. Something just hit. I think that might have been NQ. So NQ cleared that daily buy side. Q is super fucking strong recently. We might not even get there. This would have been the entry of that pre-London setup. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Can't do much about it. Let's see if we're just going to immediately run for the buy side. If I see some retracement into this discount we left behind, that would be nice. We might not get that. 3-minute time frame, 2-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame. Yeah, we might not get that. We will see. I'm ready in case we do. Otherwise, I missed out on that opportunity. Let me hop over into a strategy chat. Minus 53, long with one contract, the Apex Live 1. We had the screenshot. London, early exit, continuation, fair value gap, paired with inversion fair value gap. SilverBullet, nope. Tape reading. Mistake, really. Afraid is the wrong word. Too cautious. Prior to the London Open with a potential retracement into breaker block plus FVG plus NYMO. We seem to just continue to expand here. Without retracements. We've been doing that a lot recently, so let's see. A 15 tick stop loss is what I wanted to go for initially. Yeah, it wouldn't have reached 1.5 either. So 2 to 1, one more stop, as small as we can go. Let me quickly grab some fair value gaps that could act as resistance or inversion. Alright, so we have this one. We have another tiny one right here. That's at highest discount, offered resistance before. A tiny one here. So looking at this, we see that we closed above this fair value gap right here, this bearish fair value gap. So now it turns into an inversion. We already retested it, open with a bearish volume imbalance. So yeah, really I'd like to chase this momentum into that buy side, but really an entry off here doesn't allow me to get 2.5 handles, but I'd have to cover too much to the downside, so I'm not a fan of this setup really. 2.5 handles, we'll see. I tried with one, just looking for that buy side here. Where's that 50%? That's the rejection block. Pretty much can get rid of that. So this kept on holding resistance previously. Rejected, went lower, respected by candle bodies. Now we closed above it. We retested, so we could essentially already deliver higher from here. I just want to see if we are not going to use that most recent discount the same way as we did right here. Pretty much the same setup. Inversion fair value gap paired with discount for the continuation higher. Not sure if we want to gonna get it. We will see. Otherwise the inversion entry would have happened right here. But yeah, like I said, in my opinion, too much room to the downside to cover. Not my favorite setups. NQ already filled that 5-minute discount. I don't know. Recently, I'm starting to get that feeling NQ is doing. It's a lot easier on NQ, but it doesn't mean it's better. I mean, still profitable with ES. No reason to change anything. Volume imbalance closed inside. Let's see. It would be interesting if we're going to leave all these fair value gaps behind. I'd prefer at least the highest one to be filled. Same way as we did right here, but I really honestly didn't expect London to just push up higher without not even clearing this short-term low or this set of equal lows, filling in that fair value gap. I mean, come on, even if it would have been just a wick, really. Just simply delivers up higher. Come on. So right, and it'd be lovely to see a retracement into this fair value gap. Maybe fill us at that 50% level. Could also look for the 50% of this entire inversion, which is perhaps our entry. 2.5 handles, 3.75. For I'd be looking for 3. Let's see. Bearish crossover right here. We might fill this fair value gap on YM, even get our next Position added. Let's see. Are we going to continue straight for that buy side? Cleared the high one more time, starting to reject immediately during that last minute. Still no close above this 5-minute bearish fair value gap. No, we closed above it. But yeah, that's too much of a chase for me, really, to be completely honest. Not that much of a fan. So what we like to see is this to hold support as well, to eventually deliver into the sell side. I'm not trying to chase it here. Really, this would have been my entry for the day. I mean, I usually get the direction right. Sometimes I'm just, yeah, a little bit too afraid prior to that London Open to hold my position. Even though a 5-handle stop would have protected most of it, I just thought that if we're going to retrace, why go for a drawdown if I could get an entry lower? But yeah, that entry lower never happened. Okay, we just cleared that buy side. Of where did we deliver into that buy side? Of the newly formed inversion, where I did not try to chase it. Not my type of setup. YM is pushing up high as well. Nice. So yeah, 2 times we close above that bearish fair value gap. We retrace into it, deliver higher. Close above it, retrace into it, deliver higher. Just not an entry for me, in my opinion. We were too close to buy side. If this would have happened somewhere down here, like for example right here, where we actually entered, yeah, better, much better. But yeah, during London, market has been rather, yeah, volatile. But I don't like how we consistently leave these big fair value gaps behind during the entire day. We usually have that one big move during London, then it's doing nothing. Let it retrace during New York, and we continue during New York, or reverse during New York. Really not, yeah, nice to trade, in my opinion. I don't like leaving behind so many fair value gaps. Only 1 hour, I mean, this is just a I wouldn't even consider this a retracement. And since we cleared the SPY side now, yeah, I don't know, we could start to see a retracement. This would be the daily buy side level right here. I'm not a fan of this fair value gap anymore. I would have used that to get into the SPY side. Thank you, still holding up. Let me check the 15 here. Did manage to secure break even right here on YM. But still expecting this fair value gap to sort of hold us. So yeah, right now, new sell side, buy side targets, sell side below this level, sell side below here. We still kept on holding this inversion. We didn't close below it after purging that buy side. But still, yeah, not an entry I'd consider, even off this highest discount. I don't know, I'd like to see a further retracement or even a potential reversal to clear some sell side. I mean, London just opened up, it's 3:25 now. We had at least one 15-minute up closing candle to deliver into that previous day's high buy side liquidity. Yeah, especially with this wick. If we start to close below the first bullish fair value gap on the 5, I'd be ready to short. Let me log out of this one right here, assuming that, let me see, before we get filled, maybe I can.
Order filled.
No, okay, we just got filled here. Too bad. We have our sell stop below here, so we could still see support, but we might not. And just reverse.
Stop filled.
Alright, another loss. We've been having quite... okay, yesterday was a break-even day. I just didn't take that that first win because it was during that last hour. Yeah, that Topstep account actually is not doing too well, but yeah, just gotta wait for a new opportunity. Let's see. Going to log out here. 1, 2, 3. We could get a potential short on this candle, but I don't think that the Scalper Pro is going to close below that line, at least just yet. Let me quickly add this trade to the Topstep account. Buy Topstep Live YM1. How much did we lose on that one? We lost 109 prior to that, so if we reload that, 283. We then lost 165. 2 contracts. Only adding that second contract, I wanted to get rid of it, but didn't happen. So that's a London session. And we paid commissions 916. Negative 9.16. We add the screenshot. And done. Only red numbers, so I'm really curious to see if I can turn around this Topstep account. Indicator-based strategy. Let's see, could we get a potential short on this candle? I do not think so, so I'm going to log out of the straight away. That's a market structure shift, theoretically, after clearing buy side. So depending on this candle close, I'd be pretty keen to short. NQ filled its daily objective. ES filled the previous day's high, close above it. So yeah, be really interested if we cannot close. We will see. We just retested that inversion, starting to pull back. No market structure shift here. Let me check NQ if it's weak as well. We're now inside this bullish fair value gap, pretty similar to what we see on ES, just a little bit up higher, having cleared this entire daily buy side right here. "30 seconds to go." Short very likely going to happen on the on YM on that next candle. If we're going to close below that VWAP, we're starting to pull back. Let's see if we're going to disrespect the inversion and this bullish fair value gap. 987, rather volatile. I would have liked to see that candle right here at the open. So we close or we open with a bearish volume imbalance. Already retested previous closing price. But since we didn't close below it, I'm not that keen on getting short just yet. We just open below it with a volume imbalance. We could still see support of these discounts, but I'm on the fence really. I wish I would have been in that trade already, would have secured 5 handles from here on, then it would only be paper trading really for me. We could also see liquidity grab, continuation to the upside, because we could see that bullish crossover on this on the next candle very likely. So yeah, just on the fence if it's going to go long or short, to be honest. I mean, we have so many good things to fill down here, even on the 15. Also a 15-minute volume imbalance before, yeah, continuing higher in my opinion. If we close below this bullish fair value gap this time, and we leave behind a bearish fair value gap, I would consider taking an entry post 330. But we could simply just bounce off here and continue up higher into buy side. That's exactly why I just didn't enter yet. Of course, we could have entered the long, but yeah, not me. Nicely holding support on that VWAP, which actually reminds me that I wanted to use the VWAP as well. I did use it yesterday, so let me actually put it up. I want to place one at the New York local time midnight. There we go, and one at the new daily opening right here. 2 a.m. open, retested that, continuation higher. Just tested the VWAP one more time, immediately rejected, and starting to deliver up higher. Been starting to use it since, yeah, yesterday pretty much. So yeah, we'll see. We do not leave behind a bearish fair value gap. Still holding this inversion, this bullish fair value gap, and also respecting this discount as well. We closed, we opened up below it. Note that we didn't close below it just yet. Let's see if this candle manages to close back above this bullish fair value gap. We might continue to take out some more buy side, but yeah, I mean, really, the entry opportunity here would come back off that bullish fair value gap. 3 handles stop, 5 handles right above this bullish bearish fair value gap. Let's wait and see. Potential long coming up on YM. It's funny. I mean, I passed that Topstep challenge super easily, super smoothly. If we go to the accounts, Topstep, very simple. Didn't even take a lot of trades. And done. No, on that live account, you start trade. Okay, I made a mistake here because really this trade hit take profit target, but because of that Topstep green day rule to qualify for a payout, I wanted the trade to hit a 2.4 risk to reward target, which was pretty silly. I should have just taken profit. Then I would have had at least one win. But yeah, other than that, I missed out on a winning trade because I stepped away during that last hour of the London session. But that's alright. Sometimes you miss out on winning trades and losing trades. I'm still fairly confident that I'm going to reach the payout. So note this close and this volume imbalance. I like that actually. I'm going to not make that mistake again. Try to buy one contract here. That's super bullish. And I would like to see that continuation. We just bounced off the VWAP, stopped out by a little bit. So on that next candle we could potentially get an entry. Let's see if we get tapped in on ES as well. We had this move, bounced off the fair value gaps, and now we're filled. Had a strong bullish engulfing candle, opened up with a volume imbalance. So really a rather aggressive entry of a unconfirmed volume imbalance actually. Right here of the closing price of the previous candle. Stop loss really would go below here. My target, I'm just going to target 5 handles. Here we have that daily buy side. We might actually want to expand, and if we would measure this sort of Judah swing, which didn't clear sell side, but still, and we'd look forward to a -1 and -0.5 standard deviation to measure for potential targets. We see that that daily buy side is quite achievable. So I'm going to, we could also do 6. So 1 limit. No, come on, screw it. For now, we leave it at that. My stop is going to go just below the slow. Really, this could act as a supporting order block. Retesting the VWAP, immediate rejection for the continuation up higher. I would take one more trade on YM right here. If that trade hits stop loss as well, that would be it for me today on YM with the scalper strategy. Took a small loss here, but only 0.1% because I didn't like that rejection at all. We had a inversion, blah blah blah. So let's wait for this candle to close before we potentially enter. Here's our buy side target. Let's check out NQ. NQ is as strong as it usually is. Respected this 5-minute fair value gap. Nice. We could have also entered off here, but yeah, I was on the fence about it, especially since we cleared that previous day high, but we might still get our opportunity. Short-term high cleared. Let's see if we even manage to close above that highest discount. We kept holding resistance on that previously. Or premium, I have to say. No. So this would be, in my opinion, that confirmation / aggressive entry, really. Because we didn't enter right here in the discounts. We waited for them to actually confirm that they are going to be used as support. Open with a volume imbalance, which I treat the same way as a fair value gap, with maybe smaller priority really. And that's what I like to see. We open up, retest the closing price, and immediately deliver up higher. And that's exactly what we did. This sucks, to be honest. I hate that. Here on YM. Stopped out, and now yeah, I don't know, that entry really should have been right here, but that's the thing with an indicator-based strategy. If I would be trading YM on its own, I would have entered long right here, or at least had a buy stop above this high, inversion fair value gap, 3 volume imbalances, retest them, have a rejection wick, bullish engulfing, easy points up to this high. Kept holding this bullish fair value gap as well, but not as precise. Continued higher. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to enter on this trade. Where's the high actually? Right up here. Just going to mark this up. I mean, stop loss. I couldn't do more than a 1 bar stop. And even then, yeah, I would still take. Oh, 9 seconds. Shit. Talking too much. That's when you lose focus. Ethernet, quickly, come on. $23 tick stop loss, entry up here. Let's do 25. Create limit order, do 1 unit. And we buy die here. So we even got a better entry. That's nice. Still, my take profit target is going to remain the same one. At
Order filled.
What happened? Which order has been filled? It must have been this one right here. Alright, so done with YM. If this trade is going to hit stop loss, that's it for me today on YM. I'm going to add one more alert right here. And from here on, I'm just going to log out again. I don't care. It's an indicator-based strategy. All I have to do is execute. Trade await. Quickly go back to our Apex. So we already hit, we are at 10 ticks. This bearish fair value gap kept on holding. We didn't close above it. But since we cleared that short-term high, I think I'm going to move my stop loss. Not to break even because we could come back down to retest it. But I think I'm going to place it right here. Our 5-handle target would be sitting right here. Just noting that. But really, I'd like to see it run for buy side. So our 2-to-1 sitting right here. Our break even level right there. So one more time, one last try. Last trade on YM1 for today. Let's see if we can't reach for that buy side. What is NQ doing? Already flying. NQ's been crazy lately. Why do I don't trade NQ? Because I like the precision of ES. Some days or some weeks, NQ just performs better. Good morning, agent. And on other days, ES is doing that, so I'm not too worried about that. Who's in a similar long? Maybe from a different price level. My entry was rather quick. So we have a potential for a bullish fair value gap right here. And a potential newly formed inversion fair value gap if we close above this 5-minute highest discount before we reach that equal high buy side, which really is going to be my target. We kept holding resistance here previously. As we can see, we had this fair value gap, filled it in, delivered lower. On the 15 we could check. That's your 250k, nice. Now the next step is going to be getting these payouts. Passing step 2 essentially. That's my mission right now. For those Apex. With the Topstep challenge, it's Still gonna work out. I'm using minimal risk. Alright. Let's see if we can hit my target of 7.5 handles. Going to move my stop to break even, likely soon. Not going to close at 5 handles. Might be the smart thing to... Oh, come on, it's always that decision. Closing at 5 or letting it run for buy side. I hate to make that decision. Honestly hate it. Okay, so we closed above it. This should become an inversion fair value gap. Now we have a new bullish fair value gap right here as well. What's the time? It's 3:45, so we still have time to deliver into 4 AM. This essentially would have been a SilverBullet trade. The SilverBullet London session setup. Leaves behind 2 bullish fair value gaps, fill them, touch the VWAP, reverse. I got in on the continuation entry after seeing that confirmation. Targeting that daily buy side to be hit on ESS. No, not really daily buy side, but buy side overall. Equal highs. We could theoretically add a contract right here on this inversion, but what would happen then is I would be in with 2 contracts. My position would move up a notch. And if I exit a contract, oh, well, it could still theoretically work. So if I would add a contract, really where I would do it is on this bullish fair value gap if we get back down into it. So actually, let's do that. We buy 1 limit right here on this fair value gap, overlapping with the inversion. I'd like to see a wick inside of that and continue to deliver higher. Let me see if we have any questions on YouTube. Nope. Not many people are joining up on that. More people tend to be trading that New York session, I guess. Based on the live stream views. Let's see. That's certainly the London session SilverBullet setup. I did not... I don't know. I was on that fence. We cleared that previous day's high. We left behind those 2 discounts and... Yeah, I don't know. I prefer to wait for on that confirmation. Of course, we would have already hit more than 5 handles. Yep. But I'm fine getting in on that continuation. Sorry about that. YM is starting. I mean, it's not YM. It's the signal, essentially. Pretty late signal, but that's the thing with indicator-based systems. I mean, sometimes they do work well, and passing a challenge is super easy, like me passing that 50k Topstep. And then there are times or weeks where it's pretty tough. Because you have no say in it. You simply take the trade. Like right here, that's why I actually enjoyed tape reading so much, because I have a say in it where I'm going to enter. I'm not going to enter right here at this high because a little triangle on the chart tells me to do so. Same fair value gap, but on NQ we already filled it right here. So this would be the inversion entry. Like we said, we close above it, but I wanted to potential nice volume imbalance. I think my target is going to be hit, that daily buy side, or equal high buy side. Volume imbalance, just delivering or keep delivering up higher. Same thing happened on NQ. Move my stop one tick in profit. I don't know. I do not like to add to the position anymore. With our 5-handle target, let's see if we can't hit that buy side. If I would be in with more than one contract, I would have taken a partial here. So if you're in a straight, make sure to partial. I can't, so I could only close the position, but I'd prefer to, yeah, hit buy side. All right, all right, all right. Patience. We immediately rebalanced, not giving it a chance to leave behind a fair value gap. So ideally, I'd prefer this volume imbalance to remain open and not be filled in. But we still have 2 minutes left. Anything could happen. We could even hit our take profit immediately. Getting back to retest that inversion. Not ideal. Let's see what that last minute candle is going to do. Could I add on this fair value gap? Yeah, theoretically. And note that we also have 350, so we have get a new hourly, momentum candle in 5 minutes really. 6 minutes. 15-minute chart. 1 hour chart. I think that's in a crosshair. 5-minute time frame. Let's wait for this candle to close. Alright, so we open up. I'm going to add my buy limit down here in this discount, the most recent discount on the 5 we have left behind. I think it would also be a 15-minute discount. No, depending if we're going to leave that open or not. Next 5-minute candle is going to be a new hourly opening. We could see a pullback prior to that for the continuation higher. Yes, I know I could have secured with 5 handles profit, but I want to stress test it, to be honest. Might be the wrong account to do so. But, yeah, I mean, I'm at break even anyway. Might even have to give it some more room, especially if I want to add on that fair value gap right here. We closed on this volume imbalance. Do we have one on the 15? No, we do not. So 5-minute time frame, short-term high, fair value gap, volume imbalance, one we entered on for the delivery into that equal high buy side. Two more minutes on this candle before a new hourly opening. Last minute of that hourly candle. 20 seconds left. Do we get that last push? We will see. Two, one, and new hourly candle just opened up. Let's see what kind of momentum it has to offer. And Q already went above this high right here. There we go. There's that pump. I'm still waiting for it on ES to hit that equal high buy side. Come on. We can see NQ already made that move. ES is freezing. Yeah, NQ really is, at the moment at least, that asset that you want to be trading. Bullish fair value gap, keeps on holding support. I mean, yes, ES is doing the same thing. I mean, I managed to get into my trades very easily on ES based on a sort of volume imbalance here. But it's lacking in that momentum. .5 handles until TP. Come on, new hourly candle. Do your job. Follow fucking NQ here. Sorry for the language, but... Acting up. Come on, let's use that hack right here. Gonna use that magnet. Tja. Come on, really? Leaving behind equal highs, just below equal highs. Which is still good. I mean, that's, in the end of the day, just engineered liquidity. Magnet go brrr, brrr. .40 seconds to go. First 5-minute candle of that new hour. Deep breaths. just chilling. Nothing we can do about it anyway. Cleared the high. Pushing up higher, last 10 seconds. Can we take the buy side or can't we? We do not have SMT anymore. We open up with a bullish volume imbalance. Ah, shit. There we go. Just had to go through 10 charts after hitting space 1. Time.
I like the magnet.
Hang on, Agent, I can't hear you right now. I've got my headset on. Yep, what are you saying?
I love the magnet.
You're super silent.
I was saying I like the magnet.
Yeah, me too. I love that magnet. Worked out better on NQ, so maybe I should put it on the other side next time. Fucking screw me, man. I'm on the fence of between securing simply 5 handles in profit, that's what I normally would do, and taking profit at that equal high buy side. Sitting on that fence right there. I don't want to say it, but
I think in times like these, a lot of times it's just an issue of patience.
yeah,
Waiting for
100%.
the trade to play out, because there's been so many times where I've just went, I'm taking mine, and then it more than hit my
Yeah, the
GP.
issue is that I can't
crushed me.
even, like, I'm not able to take partials because I'm only in with 1 contract. If I would be in with 2 contracts, I would have secured the first one at 5 handles, and from there on, simply, yeah, I already got paid. I have
Trust
nothing
your
to worry about if I
analysis.
stop at break even, you know what I mean? But on a 50k entering with more than 2 contracts of a volume imbalance, of course I could have added on this inversion fair value gap right here, but yeah, I would have liked to see it retrace into this fair value gap,
Why don't you just trail your stop? Just move it up.
No, I do not want to do that. I do not want to be stopped out somewhere in here.
Okay.
Because then I would much
Well,
rather prefer securing at 5.
Well, in your mind, where would the trade be invalid?
Below this bullish fair value gap. And that's where my stop loss is. Pretty much at break
Okay.
even. I do not have an issue holding it. I just, yeah, want to get it done. 10 a.m. What's YM doing? YM is just playing around. It should hit that, especially if we leave that volume imbalance open.
That sounds like impatience. I want to get it done. I've been there so many times. Just go, and I close, and it moves. And literally within minutes.
I'm
minutes.
streaming live. So, stepping away from the chart isn't really an option. Gotta sit through it. We will see. Let's quickly increase our patience. Bum, bum, bum. Alright. Patience level increased.
So yesterday I had a trade
Last
that
minute
went sideways
of that 5-minute
and
candle. Can we leave this volume imbalance open? That's the question of the most recent 5 minutes.
remember yesterday I was doing the purge and revert. Hear me now?
20 seconds to go. Come on, make that push. I want this to remain open. 3, 2, 1. Nah, okay, we just closed it in, but still decent close.
Oh, do we have any news today? Matt, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Say that again.
Oh, I've been talking. I didn't realize you couldn't hear me.
I don't know, it's just super quiet. Maybe I have to increase your volume.
Let me check my settings.
I think I made you a little bit more silent, but yeah, it should be fine now.
My input's up all the way.
Yeah, but my user volume was decreased all the way.
Thank you.
No worries, you're
I
welcome.
was saying, remember yesterday that purge and revert?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I walked, I set my trade and walked away and went to work.
Yeah.
And
How far
because
did you
he was
walk
like,
away?
okay,
2 steps or maybe 3 steps or more?
I drove to
Oh,
work,
you drove to work. Okay, fair enough.
literally like 15 minutes away from the charts in my car in my office, right? Uh, and I all day long, right? And I left the trade at a 70, was it 78.6% on the retracement, a buy order, right? And this, I mean, this is a huge discount
Yeah,
on the breaker structure. I mean, we're talking 100, like maybe 50 points or something like that, some huge
yeah.
retracement, right? But I didn't put it at the golden, 61%. I put it at a super, super, super discount. And I come back and it literally to the tick hit the 61% and reversed the other way. And that would have been like literally like more than a $5,000 trade.
Ah, come on, yeah.
Yeah, no joke. And I was like, okay, well, you know, trust what what I'm learning. And but the thing is I couldn't stay there and manage the stop loss because the way NinjaTrader works, when you place the order, it only placed the order even though it's called an ATM strategy might have stop loss and take profit, but it doesn't have you can't see it beforehand.
Okay, yeah,
You only see it after the order is executed.
yeah.
And I was like, dude, if I put it at 61.8 and it goes to like 78, I'm gonna lose the trade. So I guess I was greedy because I still have my stop loss,
Yeah,
at like a $200 or $300 loss or whatever, right? It's a manageable it's a manageable loss,
100%.
but boy, it would have banged.
Unfortunate. I mean, like earlier this morning, I entered right here based on this inversion fair value gap paired with this bullish fair value gap, and I decided to, yeah, close the position right here. We filled in the inefficiency because I really expected London Open to deliver into the 15-minute breaker block, the inefficiencies down here, the equilibrium, all that stuff. We had so much lining up here. This sell side, those equal lows, bullish fair value gap right here, just a wick, similar to what we did yesterday. Didn't happen, and we simply continued to the upside. Just after I closed my position with a one-handle stop.
Yeah, I'm in a Dow buy and it's just consolidating.
Yeah, I know.
And usually that's what it does before it decides to make a run either
Yeah, I know.
direction.
This has been the longest, hang on, we hit my 5-handle target, the longest 20 minutes of my entire life, I think. One tick shy of that equal high buy side. I moved my take profit now to 5 handles, so in case we're gonna get down there, I'm just simply stopped out at 5 handles. I'm fine with that now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, really. 1 minute time frame. Let's watch it on the 1.
But it's going up. I mean, not that it necessarily respects trends, and the logarithm does what it does.
100%. I just do not want to be sitting here watching it going down all the way into that fair value gap and then reverse up there. I'd much rather secure my 5 handles. In the worst case, and in the best case, I'm going to secure 7.5. I think those are both good outcomes. Securing either 5 or 7.5.
So that's another 50% profit.
Let me see above that. Where's our next potential short-term high on the 5? This level right here. And then we have long ways to go to this fair value gap. All right,
Have
we're
you
pushing.
looked at his midnight to midnight highs?
Hang on, we're 1 tick away from my take profit. Gotta be watching that. Oh, come on. That's a stupid joke.
It might just give you mercy and get you out at 5.
Have mercy with me. I mean, other than this volume imbalance, even on the 1 minute time frame, we have nothing else to work with. So really, that's the only level of support I see. So let's go back to the 5. Yeah, I don't know. We could see potential SMT since NQ cleared that high. But come on, is it really going to do that 1 tick before it hits buy side? We will see. Yeah, YM is just consolidating. I'm in that same long. All right, and stopped out.
You have your answer.
I have my answer. I could have been avoiding this fucking pain in the ass last 20 minutes. But it's alright. We secured 5 handles. That was the target for today. Stopped out at 5 handles. So now what I would love to see is a pullback all the way down. Like this. And then continue back up higher. I'm not gonna be sitting here watching it again to go below the 5 handle target. But inevitably it's going to deliver into that buy side. Alright, so let me quickly journal that trade. Zero ticks drawdown.
Nice.
Alright, that was the trade. 1 tick shy.
Order
Alright.
filled.
Watch, now it's gonna go to your buy side.
Let's see. I hope it doesn't, I really hope. Unless anyone's still in that trade watching the stream. Alright, so we made 250 right here. ES1 247 with commissions. Quantity 1 Apex Live. We used a unconfirmed volume imbalance. SilverBullet continuation. Inversion for value gap. Did we use that? Hang on, let me check that. No inversion for value gap. SilverBullet. Immediate rebalance. No fair value gap. No, that's really it. I mean, other than tape reading, I can't add another tag. London session. Add the screenshot. That account has been going pretty well so far. This could have been a winner too. That's a mistake. But yeah. Pretty well. Pretty well. To be sitting here watching it hit my take profit target. Screw that, honestly. I've been watching it long enough. Could have just secured it 5 handles and avoid those last 20 minutes. Alright guys, I'm going to be back for a New York session tape read later on today. Thanks for sitting in here with me. And yeah, until later on, I think it's going to be 9:30 opening. Not gonna be trading prior to that. Depends on the setups I see when I get back home at 2 p.m. my time. So alright guys, take care, trade safe, and watch my take profit being hit. Until later.